Three, two, one, and we're live. Welcome to another episode of Data Refinement. Today, I'm going to go over being a eBay or Poshmark business owner. Three, two, one. And if you guys can hear me or you can't hear me, please put in the chat so that I can let you know. If the sound is going to be better on YouTube, so if you guys are on Instagram or Facebook, go on the YouTube and check it out. But I want to speak specifically about being a business owner, not a solopreneur. So if you're hustling every single week by yourself, this is not the right episode for you. This is people who want to level up and hire someone to help them or an assistant. If there are things that you do not like doing in your business, this is the episode for you. Okay, so I have some caveats for you. When you hire somebody, right, there's going to be either a contractor or an employee. There's a couple things that you need to keep track of. And the first thing, and this is very, very important, is that usually your net profit will go down. Your quality of your time will go down. You'll sleep less. Your profit will suffer. The exact opposite of the 4-hour work week is going to happen to you when you hire someone, because you don't really know exactly what they're doing unless you are a rock star entrepreneur and you know exactly what they're going to do. And most likely you're going to have to figure it out along the way. So I think it's very important for you guys to think about, okay, what is this person going to do? So I'll get into 5 tips that should really help you, but I want you to realize right away, you're going to have a dip in your business when you hire someone. And most people can't get through that dip, and they don't give themselves enough time or the person they're helping to get good enough at the job to really help you. But once it happens, you'll see your business explode. My business has quadrupled since I figured out how to get people's help. You can see it's obvious that everything, especially my Poshmark business, you can see I listed about 2,200 items. You can't do that by yourself in 2 months. It doesn't work that way, right? But when you hire help and you know what they're doing and you refine the process, you can get to that point. That's what this new channel is about, refining yourself. So let's get into the very first thing, which is I want you guys to write down your map of an ideal sale. Whether it's drop shipping or wholesale or thrifting or retail arbitrage, what does it look like? Does it involve you going to the store, getting a bunch of stuff that's great? Then you put it into your car a certain way. You file the receipt a certain way. You take a photo right there. You upload it to Dropbox. A virtual assistant types it into a spreadsheet for you. Then you go home and you write the title, right? You put it into whatever. You go to a garage sale, right? You give them a bill of sale and you write down exactly what you're looking for. What does a perfect sale look like for you? You guys should put in the chat right now an improvement for eBay. This is the contest for a $100 giveaway, which I'm going to do on this video. So I will close that at 6 p.m. So if you guys are on the video, go on to my eBay business owners on my Instagram and put a comment that eBay business can do better. Follow them and put a comment that you think something that eBay should improve, and then I'll enter you in the contest. I'll do a live drawing towards the end of the show, and we'll give away $100 PayPal straight to your bank. Cool. So you want to write down exactly what the map of a perfect sale looks like. This is really, really, really important, because how can you hire somebody to do something if you don't even know ideally what it's supposed to look like, right? If you're going to hire someone and say, hey, look, I list something in a different place in my house every time. I take my photos in 10 different areas. You're never going to know where anything is. All the supplies are in different places. All the pricing is different. Every single item is in a different category. Then that person is going to hate you and they're going to quit for sure, right? But if you say, hey, we're making Subway sandwiches, I always use this example. Every sandwich, the supply and recipe is right here on the visor for you to look at while you're building the sandwich. And you're going to practice for 2 weeks and shadow somebody that knows exactly how to build the sandwich. And that's much easier. You're less likely to quit. A lot of the reason why people do not quit these minimum wage jobs is because they know exactly what is expected of them, and so they never quit. So for me, I've never had an issue hiring somebody, because what they get at the job is always what I describe. When I hired my first person, I did a tryout. I said, hey, I'm looking for a photographer. I do not want any eBay experience, because I do not want an eBay seller to work for me, because most eBay sellers I meet are super lazy. So I do not want a super lazy person working for me. I want that's just barely getting by. I want like a professional. So 5 photographers applied by sending me a flat lay in the example that I wanted with the item. I said, this is how I want photos taken. You submit to me that you can do it on your floor. At the time, I was just taking pictures on the floor. Now I've upgraded. But I said, you submit to me how I want my photos done. And then before you even get a chance to work for me. So 5 people did that. I invited them all over at a tryout, right? And 5 of them I picked the best one, and that person is still with me. So that was like after trying randomly a whole bunch of different ways to hire people. Right when I first started, I went to the Goodwill outlet. I didn't understand clothing. I bought 800 pounds of clothing, and I just kept hiring and learning how to adjust things. And now I kind of know more of what I'm doing. So it was easier for me to find this new assistant who's been with me for about 3 months. He just listed his 4,000th item with me today. So that's how many items he's helped me list. It's insane. So he is now, we're setting quotas. So for example, he is a contractor, so he can work whenever he wants. He uses all of his own equipment, and he does everything on his own time whenever he wants. He can leave whenever. There's no rules, but he does have a bonus. So for this month, which he just hit right now, was if he lists 1,000 items on Poshmark, he would get a free pair of shoes and a free jacket from the store. That's what he wanted, and that's what he got. And I even put it in the area to keep him motivated during the whole time. He already hit it today, and we still have 4 days left. So he's just gonna crush whenever he wants to come do it. And then afterwards, he already came up with the goal of next month, which is he wanted this leather jacket in my store. He also wanted a pair of Clarks. So we've already decided the May goal, and he made up his own goal, which is 1,200 items listed on Poshmark. As you guys know, I'm going to try to do 3,000 items on Poshmark and eBay, cross promote it, because I want to maximize an anchor store, and I want to maximize the platforms. It's possible I may add Mercari to the mix, because I like that platform too. And right now I just want to keep going. It's not too difficult to list on Depop or Mercari. I'm just trying to assess whether or not it's worth it to pay him the extra money, because it's going to sell anyway on eBay and Poshmark already. But I'm just trying to figure out, does it sell fast enough to justify that? Because as I continue, there are more and more deals that I'm coming across as I meet more and more people, more and more networking. Obviously having a YouTube channel, some wholesalers are reaching out to me also. So trying to figure out some different stuff there. But first step, write down your exact process. What is it that you do, right? Here's the example that I always ask. Can someone do what you do? If you were to go on vacation, can someone ship for you? If not, why? Is it because your stuff's all over the house? You have different areas? Is it because it's not organized? It's because only you know where things are. That's horrible. You do not want to run your business like that, right? Why is it that they can't do what you do? If you get to the point where no one can do anything that you do, then you're going to be working like this your entire life. That's not how you want to do it. You want to make it so easy that when you leave, your grandma can come to your house. No offense to grandmas. I love grandmas. But if your grandma can come over and with very minimal instruction, even better yet, no instruction, know exactly how to ship something. She's like, click this link, which is bookmarked on the browser. It'll open up a list. Click this button, then press this. All of them will print on this label maker. On there will be the custom SKU, which is where it's located. You walk over to the bin where it matches. There's a smiley face that matches the smiley face on the label. You match those up, and the post office guy comes at 10:30. You need to have it on the doorstep by 10. If it was that clear, right, then your grandma could do it. And that's what I want it to be. I want it to be so simple, someone else can actually help you do it. If people need to figure out what they're doing when they're at the job, they're for sure going to quit. And this is the reason. Creative work costs a lot more money. When you're trying to get somebody to invent something for you, consultants can cost $500 an hour. If Wade's Ventures were to come to my place and look at my eBay business and charge me the appropriate amount, it would be hundreds of dollars an hour, right? But if you expect that from somebody that you want to pay $1 a listing, then you are high, because that's not going to be like that. You have to know exactly what they're doing or they're not going to work. Okay, so you need to figure out A to Z. And my worker even told me, please don't expect me to do more than you tell me to do. Please be very clear, because I'm a freelancer. I don't want to under-deliver. I want to do exactly what you asked me to do and then go home. And this is like a new economy. There's a lot of people doing this, Uber drivers, gig economy people. But anyway, be very, very clear. Okay, the next thing is, I would like you, and this is a little bit scary, but I would like you guys to video record yourself doing something. And the challenge that I have for all the people in my mastermind group is, I want you to list 20 items in a row. 20 items in a row, and then write down how you do it. Do you prep items in one area and then take photographs for all 20? Do you do one at a time all the way through? I like that idea of doing one all the way through, because you can look at all the defects. You can take your time describing it. It's very slow, But the people who do that tend to have a higher sell-through rate because they're looking at their item and properly doing it. But if you were to record yourself, see how long it takes you to do 20 items. If you can't do 20 items right in a row, even just one time, how are you expecting somebody that you're going to hire to do that process to do that? If you can't even do it one time in one day, you're expecting this person to do it forever. That doesn't work that way, right? My photographer watched me do it for 2 weeks and improve the process with me. We worked together to figure out how to do it, how to list certain amounts. And we figured out that 40 a day, 40 new listings a day from start to finish is a very comfortable pace. And the most he's ever done is 82 unique listings in one day. Okay, so it's key. You got to figure out what the capacity is for a person. I also heard from Drive Time with Dave, that's Rockstar Flipper's friend that's sometimes on his show, right? That you want to hire people to do 40 listings a day. You don't want to expect more than that because they don't own the company. They have no like equity. Why would they work as hard as you? It doesn't make sense, right? They're going to do the bare minimum. And a bare minimum job is 40 listings a day. Otherwise, you shouldn't work there. Okay. Next thing is I recommend you hire people full-time, because if you hire people full-time, you will get a full-time effort from that person. And a full-time effort is way more productive than part-time. And for you as entrepreneurs, if you guys are out there hustling and crushing, an all-the-time person is way more effective than a full-time person. So you're like part-time, full-time, or all the time. All the people that I see that are crushing it online, everywhere, unless your parents have dough, you're an all-the-timer. You're doing this all day, every day, right? But if you hire a part-time worker, they can't really, in my opinion, get into a groove because they don't do the process enough to get a full understanding of what they're doing. And I get this question all the time. Well, if you have a full-time person that can help you from A to Z, can't they just steal your eBay business? They could, but it's a lot harder than you think. You've got to be able to manage cash flow. You have to have the space for it. You have to know what you're doing. The accounting is kind of complicated. So as an example, James, my photographer, has about a 500 item eBay store of all expensive stuff that sells really slowly because he doesn't have time to constantly be doing stuff because he works for me. So when he goes thrifting, he knows exactly the stuff that sells for buku money in my store because he has access to my account here. Another thing that I like is having the control of the IP address. So like I worry about hiring a VA, which I have. I still have a VA that helps me list that I'm sharing now with my mastermind members. But you're welcome to just get your own VA on Upwork.com. Do the same thing, write the ad. The person will apply and say, bro, I don't know how to do it. You need to help me. And then you answer 150 more questions, and then you have somebody that can work for you. My point is, I want to control the IP address here. Unfortunately, eBay does not have third-party login without like InkFrog or a third-party lister. And I don't like third-party listers. I like listing native because I feel like third-party listers add in some code so they can do their own tracking, which is fine. I would do that too if I was a third-party lister, but I don't want that in my listing. I want the bare minimum nuts and bolts. What is the item? Dimensions, done. But back to my point of being full-time. If you have somebody that's working full-time, they're not thinking about another job. They're not like, I don't know, they need to make a full-time income. So for my guy, he basically needed to make $2,000 a week in order to survive because this is the Bay Area. So he's basically mixing around 250 items a week, which is $500 at $2 a listing. I'm going to go over that in just a second, how much I pay. And then doing a couple of gigs for major universities and then maybe one wedding. And for him, as a professional photographer, he's not an eBay person. He makes about $2,000 a week. Plus he has his eBay store. So he's doing just fine. He's doing fine. He's not worried about money. He's doing well. And at this point, he's also learning the skills to create an awesome eBay store. He's listing around 250 items a week for me. He's done it for 9 weeks in a row, 250 listings or more, right? Killing it. So full-time. Oh, I want to just talk about compensation for a second. So when we first started, this person just did photographs for me for $1. Okay, when you guys first saw this, James, in my videos, he was doing photographs for just $1. taking photos, and we were adjusting how it works. We did it on the floor. Then we moved to white background. Now we have a full lighting set. Now I have the, last the light highlight background, all that good stuff, which is on my website, dailyrefinement.com, if you guys want to check out the supplies that I use. But basically, I will also email you. I'm a little bit behind on emails, but I will email you the photo video at 10kmthebay@gmail.com, my old email. I'll respond back with the photo video eventually when I get back to that. One more thought on that before I get too deep into the weeds is I did hire Ashley, a lady who's in my mastermind, to help me a little bit over the next month. So I don't know if it's going to be an executive assistant position or not, but she will be able to help me organize my thoughts so that I can actually serve my audience better. Because you guys know I have the YouTube world, I have the 100-person mastermind group, and then I also have my own company. So I'm trying to get there. So full-time to me is really important, because when someone makes enough money and they're not worried about other money, and they're going to be at peace and be able to work for you at full capacity. I'm paying right now $1 for photography. I pay $1 to list on eBay. So $1 for the photography, $1 list on eBay, and 50 cents to list on Poshmark. Okay, but get this. The 50 cents to list on Poshmark, he told me, is overpaying him. That's how easy that part of the process is compared to the other part. And he said that $1 to list on eBay is horrible. Like the amount of time it takes him to list for $1 isn't really not worth it, but making up for it because he feels like the photography at $1 is also a little bit overpriced. And the way that he's looking at it is at output. So he's making about 20 bucks an hour, which is what he's comfortable with making here. I could do an hourly wage, but then it's a little bit different. If you do an hourly wage, you should provide benefits. You should provide a little bit more of a structure, because you can pay less, right? So if you pay less, you can offer a little bit more stability in that, versus I like to pay more for contractors so that they stay more motivated. Let's see, you have a lot of questions. Most people are happy being employees. I totally agree. So whatever environment you create for your helpers is the environment that they're going to be comfortable in. So if you are a poor leader, they're probably going to be a poor worker. Also, if you guys could hit the like button, that would be great. That would help other people find this video if you find this useful. I'm going to shift the focus of my channel to a couple different things. One is just online entrepreneurship in general. The other one is running an eBay business, and the other one is running a Poshmark business. I should do around 11 grand this month in Poshmark sales, which is not as high as my eBay sales, but that's okay. Still great. It'll be my first month over $10,000 on Poshmark, which is very exciting. My goal was to sell 200 items on Poshmark this month. And I think I'm at like 210 already, and I have 4 days left. Let's see here. You love Poshmark because it's easy to list on. Agreed. So he literally thinks that 50 cents to list on Poshmark is overpaying him. That's crazy. But we were talking about, if he only listed on Poshmark, he would surpass 20 listings an hour. Can you believe that? Over 20 listings an hour from start to finish. If you include prep, everything, that would mean he could list 160 items in a workday. That's ridiculous, right? It's really hard to get to that pace on eBay and not have to like take a cold shower afterward and eat like 4 chocolate sundaes, because the amount of stress you would have from trying to list that much would be pretty high. Reseller James said it takes forever to list on eBay. Yes, it's very bad. I do have a full-time VA to help with I have a Facebook company that pays most of my bills. So that VA does that. He is in Pakistan. I pay him $6 an hour, and he's about 150 bucks a week. So what is that? I don't know the exact amount of hours that he works for me, but he bills me $150 every Monday on Upwork.com, and they record his screen. So when he's working, he has to log into that system, and it snapshots his screen every few seconds randomly to make sure that he's actually working. But I trust this guy. I'd be happy to pay him direct if you wanted to, but I've been using him for so long. We just use the Upwork system, which is now charging a little bit more. So if you can work directly with your VA, that would be better. Thank you, Mike. Let's see here. It takes me seconds to list and forever to photograph. Whatever that you need to improve in your process, it just takes repetition. Film yourself doing it, and then you have somebody else watch it and pay them to give you criticism. I really don't like free advice because I think people half-ass it. When people are like, hey, can you check out my store? I look at it and I'm like, you don't have enough items in your store. Your pictures are all right. And good luck, right? But if you pay me, you're like, hey, Chris, here's the store review, which you guys can buy in the description below. Then I'm going to take my time and say like, okay, it looks like your product mix is a little bit off. You have too much stuff under $20, or you have too much really expensive stuff. So no normal people can buy stuff in your store because you only have vintage porcupine sculptures that are $4,000. Like very few people can afford those. So maybe you should put some more common items in your store. And I'll take a look at your description. If you put in there, please don't make an offer that's too low and insult my intelligence. I will not do business with people like that. And I will block you, especially if you offer me less than 50% of my asking price. Like if you write something like that in your description, people will probably not buy from you. So I will take more time in consulting you if you pay. That's just how it works, right? That's why I'm hiring Ashley for next month, so that I can force myself to give her something to do. I don't want to waste my money. So I'm like going to try to figure out a win-win situation. So she's helping me enough that I can continue to pay her that amount. And I think that's a great way to look at it. I'm allocating $100 a week for Ashley because I have a couple new goals. One, I'm going to launch 2 podcasts, right? So I'm going to convert this into audio form. So I need help converting those files, adding the intro and the outro. I need a little bit of help organizing the graphic design, right? I have plenty of graphic designers, but I just don't use them. I don't have the right information to give to them. I also want to provide better show notes so you guys can listen to this. And the people who are busy and don't have time to listen to me ramble for an hour, they can just get a show notes snippet. And Chris said, like, for example, write down a map of your perfect sale, write down a process from A to Z. When you first start, your net profit will go down. The quality will go down. You actually have to work harder than before you hired the person. You'll make less money and have more headaches. You should hire someone to be more full-time. And the final tip, which I'm not going to give, would also be in that show notes. So for example, if someone is busy, they can just read those show notes and be like, Chris, thank you. I'm going to make dinner for my family, right? So trying to organize that, but I don't really know how. So once you have an idea, get someone to help you. Okay, here we go. This is the 5th tip and the best tip that I have for you guys. There's a lot of people who say to me, I'm going to hire somebody. I'm just going to raise my prices to compensate for that person. That doesn't make any sense. Why would you do that? That what you pay them has nothing to do with the market of what your item is. You can't pay somebody $3 to help you do everything from A to Z and then raise your price $3. It does not make sense, right? Because it's not related to the market. So whatever the market is the market. If you want to move things faster, price a little bit below market, or you can do 2 things. You can reduce your prices to make things sell faster, or you can sell items that are more in demand. Those are the only 2 ways you can sell more stuff. Sell stuff that sells more often, or sell stuff cheaper. Those both create more often, which is what people ask me the most. How do I increase my sales? Do I do offer to likes on Poshmark? Absolutely. And I'm very, very annoyed that I did not win the contest of offer to likers. I literally, for 4 hours straight, I sent 800 offers to likers and did not win the contest. How is that even possible to do that many and not win the contest? I don't know. I feel like it's rigged for people who are more bougie, because like when I see the winners on the Poshmark site, it's like them dancing in the background, butterflies behind them, a beautiful thing of packages. And I'm going to do that. Okay. There's no way that Poshmark's not going to promote me, because I'm going to get 5 golden retriever puppies dancing around these packages, beautiful roses. One of the packages will be half open. You'll be able to see a beautifully wrapped package with roses on it and a basket full of mints. It's going to be awesome, right? There's no way that will not get on the Poshmark's homepage. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. They're super bougie. So it's kind of crazy, but I'm going to get on their page. I'm going to be their main person. I'm going to start dressing like the way they want to. My packages are going to be insane. Can't wait to get there. I'm also a little bit extra today because I'm a little low on sleep. So I'm going to be sleeping a little bit more. Last night was a little bit rough because I had all these ideas, because I'm trying to get a bunch of stuff ready for my next employee, which is the whole point of the show. When you're about to hire somebody, your life sucks for a minute. It's like having a baby. You just, maybe not like having a baby, but when you add somebody to your life, you're temporarily going to be messed up, because it's a lot of extra work, a lot of extra things that you weren't expecting, right? So it's just temporary. Once I have an assistant that can help me get all this content in more digestible form for you guys, everything will be better and it'll be gravy. But I'm telling you, I'm going to max out this this image thing that Poshmark keeps promoting, because I already know the community part, right? I'm already real. I already talk to people. I'm a legit person. You can contact me. You can DM me. I will respond. Sometimes it takes 20 days, but I will respond back to you, right? And then we can start the conversation. I already have that part down. The part that I don't have down is chandeliers in the background, all white marble. I already have a rose gold iPhone. Actually, I have 2 rose gold iPhones because the one that I'm streaming from on Instagram is also rose gold. So double rose gold iPhone. I'm going to have all luxury stuff. I'm ready to kill this Poshmark thing. All right, let's see here. You think it's rigged. You never win those contests on Posh. I can make a package stack like no other. Like, I'm watching Just Thrifted. Bethany has this beautiful array. She's like laying down dead on all these packages. I'm going to kill that. It's just like, I only take pictures of packages that are going out, and it's like condensed into the thing. I'm not spreading them out all over my floor. I don't have time to do that. Let's see here. I don't know if it's a hipster thing, because I think that the look is the Long Island, like, for example, the look, in my opinion, is loafers with no socks, short shorts, short seersucker shorts, button down halfway, and a straw hat. That's the Poshmark look for me. So you guys might see that coming up in the future. Let's see here. But I did see Acquitted Apparel. She did win, and I'm friends with her on Instagram. So that was the first time a friend of mine got something. It's nothing like having a baby. Sorry. So yeah, hiring a lister on eBay is nothing like having a baby. Just want to clarify. Do I think listing more volume increases sales, or having more in-demand products will increase your sales more than hiring a lister, for sure? Once you hire a lister, the quality of your listing is going to go down. Your sell-through rate should drop, unless you are insane and hiring somebody makes your store better, but that's not going to happen at first. Unless you suck at listing and the person that you hire is way better than you. That would improve it. Depop is hipster. That's what my girl says. She says that I need to get a little bit more hipster trendy stuff if I want to sell on Depop. Most of my stuff is too common. So how many pics can my photographer do in an hour? Flat lay clothing, his record is 264 items in one day. 8 pictures. Perfect. Let's see. Do you recommend hiring someone to do a whole listing from start to finish? I recommend you hire somebody to do one thing for you. Just fold, just do the buttons, just photograph, just draft. One thing at first, because even that will be hard. So trying to help somebody go from start to beginning is like teaching somebody how to ride a bike. It's too many steps. Just do one thing at a time and you'll be fine. That's not a good analogy either. My analogies are horrible today. Does he do measurements as well? He does. My photographer takes just 2 measurements though, just width and length. Go to Amazon, buy some stacks of fake $100 bills. No, it's not about the money. See, you don't know what you're talking about. The Poshmark stuff is not about making money, because if you look at their stores, they don't do any volume. And the way that you can do this is you can go search by sold listings, right? And then click on it and then see where it's at, right? So someone says, hey, this Parker dress just sold. And then you look at their solds and it's sold last October. You can be like, come on, like just for the Instagram likes, but Parker may be hot right now. So they may get featured on Poshmark's page because they sold a Parker dress. You'll be paying for a store review for me soon. Awesome. I'm a little bit behind. There's 4 in the queue and I will get those up today. So sorry for the delay. Let's see. Thank you for stopping by. If you guys have to hop off, please hit the like button. And if you think someone may benefit from this, please share it to them. Hello from the South Bay. What's up? I haven't taken the 7 kids sourcing today, but I did go sourcing for 3 hours with one of my mastermind members today. And I think she was incredibly disappointed with how boring it is. We went to Goodwill. I found 2 pairs of shoes that I think will net between $15 and $20 profit each, right? So we went to the Goodwill. I think she was also surprised how little time we were there. I looked through the love box, which is the stuff that Goodwill's in love with and charges too much. We looked at 2 shoes in there. It didn't work. Went and picked up 2 running pairs of shoes. Looked through all the blazers and outerwear, and I was out of there. We met there at 9:30. We were gone by 9:40. So only 10 minutes in the store. I don't know dresses, but the dress game is also on point if you know how to do that. Then we went to retail arbitrage. We did Ross, Marshalls, Burlington, Coat Factory, in and out. And then we hit up the outlets, right? So we did a bunch of that stuff. As you guys know, friends and family sales going ridiculous right now. If you guys have 10 grand to spend, that's where you should go. Get that 30% off. And if you're weighed, tax-free. Let's see here. I think you just started Posh. Posh is a different animal, bro. Let's see. You have your broke friend pre-packed for me. See, I don't want broke people around me. I want abundant people. I want my photographer to make 6 figures. I know you guys are like, oh, I want like to pay people as little as possible. I'm the exact opposite as that. Like, for example, Ashley, the lady that is working for me next month, her going rate is $36 an hour, which she normally got her last job, which is kind of high because I'm looking for someone like in the $16 to $20 range. I'm just trying to figure out how can I make her valuable enough to me that I can pay her what she's worth. I don't like paying people less than what they're worth because then they don't work very hard, right? You want to pay people more than what they're worth. My guy's expecting $20 an hour. I paid him $160 today and he went home at 4. So it's more than, he did 64 listings today, right? So he actually made $160, which was, like I said, $20 an hour. So he already in his mind figured out how much money he wanted to make, came in, knocked it out, done. Your Poshmark image should be more roses. Roses are good. Although I will tell you, I make a lot more money from pure white photos than the ridiculously beautiful pictures that I take with the whatever. Those do not do as well as pure white photos. So again, I just started on Poshmark, so I'm gonna take my word with a grain of salt. But one thing I really like is, you guys know who wrote The Miracle Morning? I forgot this guy's name. Somebody put in the chat who wrote The Miracle Morning. That dude's super cool. I forgot his name. Anyway, this is what's super cool about him. He bought his executive assistant a Tesla, right? This is like, you're saying, that's insane to me. That's so cool. I would love to be able to give my assistant a Tesla. That's how valuable she is to you, that you can do that. Or it doesn't have to be a she. That's how valuable that person is for you. That's awesome. I would love to be able to give my assistant a Tesla. But that's very challenging. They have to probably make me, it'd probably have to make me 250 grand more having this person for me. Actually, maybe even more than that. I don't even know how much money he or she would have to make for me to have to give them a Tesla as like a gift for working for me. That is amazing. Oh yeah, Hal Elrod. Thank you guys. Hal Elrod bought his assistant a freaking Tesla. That is just so sick. Did I notice a loss of quality with employees? For sure. More returns, more negative feedback. Pictures are worse, but overall, I'm making 4 times as much money. So also comes with 4 times as many headaches. So it's not like it just comes in and doesn't make a lot of money. Like it doesn't work that way. You don't get it. Like the store that I'm trying to copy, which I released on Instagram, which is Shop Material World, they get like 16 negative feedback a month. But that means they do 1,000 transactions, right? And that's where I want to be. That's insane. 1,000 transactions, they're doing $200,000 per month. That's legit. That's $2.5 million with 2 ladies in Brooklyn. 2 ladies in Brooklyn, $2.5 million eBay business. They also have a subscription box. Super dope. So, Wade, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. That's awesome. Awesome. He's helping me pay for my gold phone. Much appreciated, brother. Let's see here. You find it more difficult to connect with your non-reselling friends. This is so weird. I've been talking to a lot of resellers recently that at this point, I feel closer to Wade's ventures than some of my high school friends, because like we talk frequently about stuff that matters to me. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? He's like, yo, your YouTube channel is horrible. It looks like a potato because you're not doing X, Y, Z, L, M. And then I'm like, cool. So as you get older, it's kind of like the people you're friends with are the people who have the same goals as you, and your childhood friends kind of go away. It's a little bit weird. But like I said, I used to work for Lexus. The average person that bought a car from me made $1 million a year. I'm sorry, had $1 million net worth and 30 friends on Facebook, right? Are you that dude that when you buy a Corolla and you post it on Facebook, you get 4,000 likes? because that probably means that you're broke, right? Versus the guy that buys a 911, there's some guy golf clapping in the background that's going to buy a Ferrari and show him up the next week. That's what happens when you're rich. You like have a really small network of people who kill it. It's totally different. It's almost like you have your friends make 20 million bucks, but when you're rich, the $20 million is just divided amongst 4 people, and when you're poor, the $20 million is divided amongst whoever many people, and everyone has 10 bucks in their pocket, and that's it. So like you ask your friends to go to a movie and they can't even afford to go to a movie, so you got to go to one person's house and split popcorn with 4 people. That sucks. And that's like how I kind of feel with some of my older people I used to hang out with. Like, they're my friends, but then I always have to pay, and so that is kind of odd. But let's see. You like Jim Rohn's advice about hiring. You find them good, you don't make them good. Ooh, that's a good one. But yeah, I want to go over the 5 tips real quick in case you missed them. You want to write down a map of your perfect sale. So that means going to the thrift store, you get the receipt, you mark on the receipt what it is so you know what it is. You take a picture of it with your phone, uploads to your Dropbox. You have a virtual assistant enter into a spreadsheet for you. At the end of the month, it's automatically emailed to your CPA, and then your CPA sends you your estimated sales tax for your state, and maybe he files that for you. You hand it off to your assistant, Bob, and Bob takes the photos and lists it on eBay, Poshmark, and Amazon for you because you only sell brand new items. That's your thing. Then he puts it into the warehouse into a specific slot. And then your grandma, Sally, comes in at 10 a.m. every single morning, puts everything in a beautiful basket, takes it to the post office. And then every third Thursday, she brings donuts for the crew. That would be beautiful, right? And that's what we're talking about. Write down the beautiful map of what your perfect eBay sale looks like. Then next one is video record yourself and do 20 listings in a row to see if you can get into a flow and see what 20 listings in a row looks like before you try and hire somebody to do at least 20 listings, which in my opinion is a part-time helper. 20 listings a day. That's what you'd be helping someone with. Don't hire someone to help you with 5, just do it yourself. It's less than 20, do it yourself. Third one is, can someone do what you're doing, right? If they can't, then ask yourself why. So if I ask Lauren, thank you for the $10 super chat, why can't somebody ship for you? And she'll tell me the reasons what she needs to fix before she hires someone. That's the question that you need to ask. What does it look like when it's done? And why can't somebody do what you're supposed to do? If you're saying, oh, only I can thrift because only I know the best brands. Not true, right? You can go online, you can go to a consignment shop, you can go watch YouTube haul videos and figure out what sells. Anyone can do that. There's 680,000 eBay stores. Okay, you are not special. You do not have some magical touch that only you can find profitable products. It's not true. There are plenty of eBay businesses where the buying is outsourced to a person. Those are called buyers and purchasers. The next one is, if you can hire somebody full-time, you've got to hustle your butt off so that you can afford them, but they're going to be so much more loyal. And honestly, that's the American dream to me. You're helping somebody else. You're creating a small business. That is capitalism. That is badass, right? It's just being able to own something and you're taking care of somebody's livelihood is really cool. And that responsibility will be there. My photographer wants 50 items ready to be listed when he gets here. If it's not, I'm sort of wasting his time because he's like, bro, what am I even doing here? I could be whatever people do in the Bay Area instead of being here right now. Get your shit together. Have those items ready so that I can make money when I get here. Let's see. Volume listing is key, and the key is good employees. Agreed. Let's see. You're thinking of getting a VA. Okay, so I have one full-time VA. I talked to him on Skype, which is a little bit annoying because I talk to him as much as I talk to my girlfriend because he's always asking me questions. Which is bad. It's good and bad. It's good because he feels comfortable asking me questions and I'm not like, bro, why aren't you doing this? But it's also bad that I haven't created a process that's clean enough that he doesn't have to ask me questions. My photographer doesn't ask me anything. He already knows exactly how to list on eBay and Poshmark, probably better than me at this point because he's already listed 4,000 items on all the different stores. So like he's definitely killed it for me. not only that, he's built his own awesome eBay store and uses me to print his labels, and it's totally cool. He'll just send me the list of the addresses, and I'll make all the labels for him. He can ship from here. It's awesome, and I'm also shipping at night now, so I'll print all the labels. He pre-packages at home too. So when I go pick him up from the train station because he doesn't have a car, we go straight to the post office because I'm trying to get that 0.9 shipping time for Poshmark. So I'm trying to ship in the morning, and then if I'm really feeling froggy, I'll ship again in the afternoon. That's not really, it's kind of pointless for me to ship that fast, but I'm just trying to get that icon that says same day shipping. Have I ever used automatic listers? I don't know what that is. The Right People on the Bus, Good to Great. No, Good to Great is a great book. Volume, let's see. You hired a guy and he was a slacker. See? That's not good. But the thing is, if you put amazing opportunity, $7 an hour or 50 cents a listing to come work a really difficult job in poor conditions, and you can't use the bathroom, you're probably going to get that guy to apply, right? Try to make your job appealing. Would you apply to the job that you're actually posting? Let's see. 1.1 days. It says same. Really? It doesn't say same day for me. I have 1.1 and it says 1 day shipping on my About Me. You had posted a photographer wanted ad and answered on the post that it was $1 per 6 to 12 photos and got the response. You seriously want to pay 10 cents per photo? I pay 12 cents a photo. And my guy makes 20 bucks an hour. I pay 12 cents a photo. Yeah, so I treat my guy really well. I take him to lunch. Like we're homies. Like we went and saw Black Panther together. Come on. I went and saw Black Panther with my photographer. You guys got to step it up if you want people to actually care about you. You care about them. They'll care about you. He spent 40 minutes of unpaid time looking for a pair of Asics that I couldn't find and found them for me. That's really cool, right? If you treat people really well, they will take care of you because he's like, you can't. Okay. And in my defense, he misfiled it. Okay, so he misfiled it, so it was just gone. So I just lost the sale. But anyway, he was able to find it. Can I hire you? Maybe. I'm maybe looking for somebody loyal, but I'm still working on trying to get somewhere. Let's see here. When on earth do I have time for a girlfriend? I do have time for a girlfriend. So I hang out with her Thursdays, Tuesdays, and Saturday all day. And I'm trying to get to the point where I stop using my phone at 6 p.m. So this is a little controversial. Put this in the chat if you guys think this is horrible or not, but I'm going to put in my listings, I only respond to customer service before 6 p.m. Something like that. Like, we'll get back to you in the morning. We apologize for the inconvenience. I want to preemptively say like, we're not available after 6. So I can be like, hey, we're a small business, but we close at 6. Sorry. We leave our eBay devices in the office or something, so that I can get people to, their expectation is to be like, oh, they get back to me within 1 day, but it's always in the morning. So I can stop using my phone because I need to sleep more, going to sleep more. So I'm going to figure that out because this is so weird. The way to get more out of life is to spend less time awake and more time asleep and just be more productive when you're awake and have better sleep. Also, I want to just point out something that I think is really crazy. So I've been listening to all these sleep podcasts because I'm trying to figure out how to sleep well. And it's very clear that I do not sleep enough. I think that's one of the reasons that I'm really creative, because I'm high. Because if you have sleep deprivation, it's the equivalent of being drunk, right? That's horrible. So I don't want to be drunk all day. I want to be like, aware of what's going on. So I need to take better care of myself. But one of the reasons why I come up with all these crazy ideas and I'm constantly changing and flip-flopping is because I don't sleep enough. If I slept well, I wouldn't gravitate towards eating a donut instead of a salad with no dressing. So if you sleep well enough, you're going to just make better decisions. Let's see here. It's a global world. Yeah, see, this is interesting. People say, why do you pay your virtual assistant $6 an hour when you don't have to? The reason why I don't have to, like I said, is I have an abundant virtual assistant in Pakistan. He makes $6 an hour. He owns a home. He told me that the equivalent, he said that $16 an hour where he lives is the equivalent of 6 figures here. So he's like, My job is not quite that hard. So it's like kind of an entry level job. So $6 an hour is above minimum wage, which is like $4 there. So he's making a little bit more than minimum wage. He'd be making the equivalent, since California is like 14 bucks, about 22 bucks an hour to do work for me, which is decent, right? It's not killing it, but his home only costs 45 grand. 45 grand here doesn't even buy you a car. So like, actually that's not true. It buys you an okay car here, but you can't sleep in your car in California. I think it's illegal. Let's see. Awesome. He's gonna hook me up with the. So like, I actually did. I probably should smoke weed, but I'm probably gonna lose my monetization because you can't say anything related to cannabis on your YouTube video, or they cut you off on the ads. But my point is, I just want to stop using my devices at 6 o'clock. I'd like to. Like I deleted Instagram off my phone. I only have Instagram on my listing phone, which is what you guys are streaming on right now on this phone right here. So like once I deleted Instagram off of my regular phone, I actually feel a lot of peace because I can't check it. So there's no Instagram on my phone. I deleted Facebook a long time ago. I need to reinstall Slack because I have a community. The 100 people in my group talk on Slack, but I'm not even in there. So I need to figure that out. And that's another thing that I need to outsource to my VA so that she can say, people are having difficulty figuring out how to use sales rank on Amazon. You need to do something about it. So I can go research it and fix it for them. So as you guys know, just like Secondhand Swagger, everyone should follow him. Oh, you're going to change your name to something because he sells all new now. Amazon is my biggest weakness, and I want to have the trifecta. This is me not sleeping. eBay, 10,000. Poshmark, 10,000. Amazon, 10,000. So I was talking to James Universe. If you guys are not following James Universe on Instagram, he is the bomb. He's helping me out with online arbitrage. And I was like, I really want to make Amazon work for me. I want to make 100K, but I don't want to drive around. Traffic here sucks. How much revenue do I need to do to net 100K on Amazon, or 100 to 120,000? And he said, bro, if you're going to do online arbitrage, you need to do like $1 million. Like, I'm just trying to give you a realistic view. Your margins are probably going to be 10% or less if you're trying to do it at scale without leaving your house. That's not easy. Everybody wants that. So like, you're going to be competing against robots and teams of people. Like, you're going to have to dig in and figure it out. So I said, okay, like, I'm into it. Down to figure out SKUs. I think I'm ungated in Adidas now after sending in a whole bunch of stuff. Still not Nike, but I will get there. Scanning in groceries, scanning in a whole bunch of stuff. My goal is to get a fully ungated Nike account and net $10,000 a month, 100% online arbitrage. So that's the thing. Figure out where I'm going, type it in the GPS, and just start walking. I don't know I'm not even walking in the right direction, to be honest, because some people are like, bro, it's over here and you're walking this way, right? So like, you just need to start walking and ask people for directions. You'll be fine. Let's see here. Do I use those apps that they follow people? No, I do not. I do not use any outside services, only real people. And because at this point, my Poshmark is insane. I'm hiring a new girl in Texas to be following for me next month. I'm very excited because she's going to be doing edit next list during parties. I'm super stoked because my sales right now are already dope. So if she can share during the parties or right before or right after or whatever we decide is our hypothesis, and it works better, then it will justify the extra cost of hiring somebody in the US. So again, instead of worrying about paying people less money, try to make their job more valuable so you can have somebody who's not a piece of poo working for you that's struggling to get by. I don't want that person in my life at all. I want the people around me to be doing well. I don't want people around me to be struggling. That means that's going to rub off on me and I'm going to start struggling. I don't want to be like that. Let's see. What's my favorite thing to sell on eBay and Poshmark, and what and why? My favorite thing to sell on eBay or Poshmark is luxury goods. I talked about this. Like, if I could sell only one thing, it would be Gucci. It would be Gucci. Let's see. Posh is better than eBay. Not so far in sales for me. Although this month I will hit 10K for the first time on Poshmark. But not my favorite. All right, guys, I got to go. I'm going to get ready for my girlfriend. Got to do some laundry. Got to get ready to turn off my phone. And again, you guys should try. You should get a separate phone that only has eBay, Poshmark, and Instagram on it, right? And actually, maybe not even Instagram. You should just delete Instagram from your life if you want to get shit done, honestly. Just get rid of social media for a minute and get your store built up. and then turn your phone off at 6 o'clock and enjoy real in-person connections with people in real life. Sounds weird, but hope you guys are loving it. If you guys have any questions, email me at 10konthebay@gmail.com. Let me know what other topics or questions or things you need help with. Join my mastermind. It's at patreon.com/daily refinement. And there are 100 people. It's mostly full now, but you can get in. And again, you will get all this information weekly. I have 13 calls. Inner circle, 100 people. Instagram and YouTube is everyone. And then I have my inner circle of friends, which is about 10 people. So I think you guys should do the same thing. Everyone have a good one. Peace.